You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Okay, so last we spoke, we were talking about the idea of using drugs and medical treatments based on standard protocols and using diagnostics and devices rather than looking at the body itself of the individual. I remember working as a pharmacist back in the late 1980s, early 1990s. I was in this little town in Colorado, and periodically there would be a winter storm. And after a winter storm, almost always there would be a flu or a cold epidemic that followed, and the pharmacy would be packed with people who were coming in to fill their prescriptions, maybe 100, 150 a day sometimes. And it was just me and a little pharmacy tech, and we'd be filling scripts all day long and answering the phone all day long. Folks, be very nice to your pharmacist because he's really overworked. I can tell you that from experience. Anyway, so 100 people, 150 people, they come in the pharmacy all day long, in and out, in and out. They line up, they hand me their script, I fill the medicine, and they pick it up and pay for it. And what these people didn't know is that almost everybody who was coming in for cough, for a flu or a cold was getting the exact same medicine, the exact same prescription. Women, men, kids, old people, young people, they were all getting a script for an antibiotic and a cough suppressant. Everybody. Moxicillin. Almost always it was amoxicillin, and sometimes it was the cough syrup. They give you something called Tussian X or Phenergan. Always amoxicillin and then either Phenergan or Tussian X. It was like a ritual. It was like water and wine. Now, do you suppose that all these people had exactly the same biochemistry and exactly the same medical needs and exactly the same type of illness? No, human beings are individuals, but the medicines are not individualized. In hospitals, in managed care, in the practice of medicine in general, there are formularies, there are menus, there are ways that we are treated that are standardized. All diagnoses receive the same medicines, and all surgeries as well. Surgeries join in with these diagnoses, and medical protocols in general, testing, devices. The idea of a standard treatment for every diagnosis is part of heart health, it's part of skin health, it's part of inflammatory diseases. The treatment of inflammatory diseases is part of treating autoimmune disease, it's part of treating cancer. It's called functional medicine or clinical medicine. And it represents a lack of thoughtfulness, and it enriches and it entrenches the medical model without improving our health. This is one of the major reasons why health care is a failure, because of standardized care based on diagnostics, based on formularies. It's created this idea of medicine, this institutionalized idea of medicine has created, maybe not created, but it's resulted in some measure at least, in a health crisis, a degenerative disease health crisis that has never been seen in the history of man. This is what our medical model is presiding over. Every single chronic degenerative disease is increasing, every single one. Even as we have more drugs and more insurance and more doctors and more health awareness. So what is it that our multi-trillion, $3.5 trillion in healthcare costs, that's what we spend every year. This is a mind-boggling number. $3.5 trillion, nearly a quarter of our economy is spent on healthcare. How could we be this sick? What have we gone for all this? We got more drugs, we got more surgeries, we got more diagnostics, and we got more health misery. $10,000 per man, woman, and child. 4 billion prescriptions. 12 prescriptions per man, woman, and child. 50% of Americans have at least one chronic degenerative disease. 25% of Americans have at least 2 chronic degenerative diseases. How can we possibly be this sick? In a world of technological advances that is so mind-boggling, so stunning, we can manipulate atomic matter. We can create brand new materials from scratch. We can travel to the stars. We can leave the solar system. How can we possibly be so broken down? What is wrong with this picture? Well, the answer, at least partially, is in the institution of medicine. It's in the model of medicine. Not the individual doctors. Not, we gotta separate the individual, as always, from the institution. Just like there's individual patients and there's the institution of medicine, there's individual doctors. And there's the institution of medicine. And the doctors are just as much a victim, many times. This whole notion of functional medicine or clinical chemistry medicine is not only about shortcuts. It's not only about laziness, medical laziness. it's also about the system. It's about making the system stronger. It's about making people weaker and the system stronger. It's about empowering institutions like the government and the medical model, the institution of medicine, even as it disempowers us. And this is what Obamacare is about. It pretends to be about people, but in reality, it's about entrenching government-mandated health care, empowering drug companies, device manufacturers, diagnostic companies, and it allows the medical model to establish something called standards of care. This is an official legal term, standards of care. Standards of care is a legal definition or a legal mandate that compels doctors to treat patients in a standard way. You go to the doctor, he takes a blood test, and based on the results, he has to treat you a certain way or he can lose his license. Or worse, he can go to jail. Standards of care are the intersection between medicine and law. It's how malpractice is determined via this standards of care standard. It tells the doctor what he has to do based on what tests the results of what tests he gave you, or what his diagnosis is. This is why we have diagnosis, so we can apply standards of care. It's an official term. And who is it that sets the standards of care? Medical boards, doctors, drug companies, insurance companies, all people who have financial interest in the standards of care. This is not a good thing, people. This is definitely not a good thing. It means that if a doctor doesn't follow standards of care, which the insurance company set up for him, which the medical boards, which are made up of doctors, set up for him, the doctor is legally liable for malpractice. He can go to jail. He can lose his license. He could be penalized. And this is how doctors, even the well-meaning doctors, are kept in line. By the threat of legal prosecution, literally legal prosecution for violating standards of care. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. All right, so standards of care. Love that term, standards of care. This is how criminal liability of a physician is determined if he violates standards of care. And it's not just physicians either. Nurses have to follow standards of care too. Pharmacists, as far as I know, don't. I've never had to do that. We're just basically dispensing things, not necessarily caring for patients. But nurses and doctors and probably other healthcare professionals, I'm assuming, have to deal with this arbitrary standard called standards of care. Otherwise, they can go to jail. They can be held legally liable for malpractice. They can lose their license. And this is how doctors are kept in line. It's a threat of legal action. It's a threat of being sued. This makes the doctor beholden not to the patient, but to the medical model. You see what's happening here? It's not about the patient anymore. That's the problem. It's not about the patient. It's about the model. Standards of care are determined by medical boards, government committees, insurance companies, drug companies. And whether they're in the patient's interests or the interests of the model, it's not exactly clear. You know, if push comes to shove and there's a debate about whose interest it's going to be in, I don't think the patient's going to win that battle. If it's between cost and the patient, I don't think the patient is going to come out on the high end there. This is why patients get the same medicines. This is why it's a cost issue, especially if you're going to an HMO. If you go to an HMO, the doctor's not working for you. He's working for the HMO. And he's beholden to the medical model. And this is what accounts for the utter, complete, abject failure of the medical model when it comes to treating chronic degenerative disease. Standard of care is what determines what the doctor's going to do. In legal terms, it's defined as the level at which the average prudent provider, whatever that means, in a given community would practice. And it's how the medical model keeps its members in line. It's why doctors don't practice intuitively or creatively. That's why they're not really doing health care. They're doing managed care. That's what managed care is about. It's why they operate as a herd. It's why patients are not treated as individuals, but treated as part of a medical herd themselves. You got problem A, we give drug B. It's the essence of allopathic medicine. It's what allopathic medicine is about. You got this problem, we give you this protocol. Standards of care is why diagnostics are so treasured and so honored and so sanctified by the medical community. It's how they justify what they do. Diagnosis your diagnosis, we always say on this program, one of the major ideas of reversing degenerative disease is to ignore your diagnosis. Yes, your diagnosis doesn't matter. It's only there to determine standards of care. That's all. As far as reversal of disease, it doesn't matter what your disease is named. The name of the disease or the particular geography on your body does not matter from a reversal and healing perspective for restoring the body back to wholeness. It diverts us, but it's how standards of care work. So they have to have a diagnosis. Once you get a diagnosis, you're in the system, folks. You've got a number, you got a special code, it gets plugged into the computer, you get special benefits, the government pays for certain things, the insurance companies pay for other things. I was just reading an article about how they want to reclassify diabetes, type 1 and type 2 diabetes. The problem with type 1 and type 2 diabetes is, even though type 1 diabetes is so-called autoimmune and type 2 is just a long-term aging thing, the end result is the same thing. You don't treat them differently. And so what's happening now is with type 1 diabetes, insurance companies will pay for some drugs, but not other drugs. So doctors are freaking out. So they want it all reclassified. Because at the end of the day, you use the same medicine. At the end of the day, it's the same protocol for type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Well, guess what? At the end of the day, it's the same protocol for pretty much everything. It's what I call the bright side philosophy. That's the protocol for pretty much everything. There's not 12,800 different diseases like the World Health Organization tells us. There's one in terms of chronic, degenerative, progressive disease that gets worse and worse and worse, where we break down. There's only one disease. It's called MBFA. My body is falling apart disease. That's the only disease. And I'm being facetious here, but from a reversal perspective, that's all we have to know. If it's the brain, you'll call it Alzheimer's. If it's the another part of the brain, you'll call it Parkinson's. If it's the nerves, you'll call it multiple sclerosis. If it's the kidneys, you'll call it glomerular nephritis. If it's the bones, you'll call it osteoporosis. The liver, you'll call it liver disease. If it's the pancreas, you'll call it type 1 diabetes. It doesn't matter what you call it or where it is. Standards of care require us to have a diagnosis. Without a diagnosis, there's no standards. That's why you go to the doctor complaining your muscle pain. He says, "Oh, you have fibromyalgia," which means muscle pain. So you go in to you go into the doctor, you tell him you have muscle pain, and he tells you, "Oh, you have muscle pain," but he says it in Latin. So you have a diagnosis. Why does he do that? So you can go into the system. Muscle pain doesn't go into the system. Fibromyalgia does. You got a spinal cord that's inflamed, it's losing its shape, and he says, "Oh, you have ankylosing spondylitis," which means spinal cord is inflamed and losing its shape in Latin. Why? Because they can't fit spinal cord is inflamed and losing its shape into the computer. It's too long. They have to standardize it. So it becomes ankylosing spondylitis. But it's just the same thing. By giving you a diagnosis, he can go to the recipe, he can look at the book and see what standards of care are for that diagnosis. And if he doesn't do it, he can be sued. He can lose his license. He can go to jail. So standards of care involves how we practice medicine, and it's how physicians are kept in line. Standards of care is how the legal system interfaces with the medical system. State attorney generals, government agents show up unannounced at facilities with badges and subpoenas and sometimes with automatic weapons, shutting down offices, threatening healthcare providers, threatening doctors with prosecution as well as prison time. And interestingly, even though we have all these standards of care, medical negligence is the third leading cause of death in the country. After heart disease and cancer, the third leading cause of death is medical negligence, even with our standards of care. So they don't even work. Malpractice, which is defined as a violation of standard of care, malpractice incidences rates are increasing. Medical malpractice insurance premiums are increasing too. Healthcare costs are increasing. That means windfalls for everybody, except for us, except for the consumer who's not getting any healthier, but sicker and more cut up and more drugged. And that's really what this thing is all about. And that's why I do this program every day. We got to wake up, people. If we're not healthy, it ain't a doctor issue. And we're not going to get healthy by going to the doctor or by taking drugs. Okay. From the University of Dundee in Glasgow, vitamin pill could prevent heart attacks and strokes in people with kidney disease. Do you know 1 out of 10 Americans has kidney disease? nearly a third of Americans who are over the age of 65 has kidney disease. It's an epidemic. 60,000 people a year die from kidney disease. And now it turns out that a vitamin pill could prevent heart attacks and strokes, one of the leading causes of death in people with kidney disease. It's vitamin K. Yes, vitamin K. The one they tell you not to take when you're on a blood thinning drug for your heart. Vitamin K, as it turns out, is just as or probably more important for your heart than a blood thinning drug. Not that, sometimes you need a blood thinning drug if your blood is so clotted up. Vitamin K is a clotting vitamin, so when you're on warfarin or Plavix or Pradaxa, they'll tell you not to take vitamin K. But vitamin K does a lot of things. Vitamin K is important for your bones. Vitamin K is important for prostate disease, for lung cancer, for leukemia, for brain health issues, for tooth decay. Vitamin K is an incredibly, incredibly important vitamin. There's 3 different kinds. Well, basically 2. The third vitamin K, there's K1, K2, and K3. K3 is a drug form. But 2 nutritional forms, K1 and K2. K1 is found in plants, your green leafy vegetables, which is one of the major reasons why you want to be eating your kale and your spinach and all your other green leafies, arugula and such. The darker the color, by the way, the more vitamin K activity you're going to have typically. The second kind is made in your gut by vitamin K2. But of course, because we drink chlorinated water and we brush our teeth with fluoride and we got fluoride in the water and antibiotics in the water, et cetera, our intestines aren't healthy. A lot of us aren't making vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 is what cleans our blood. It prevents calcification. It actually keeps calcium where it needs to be. Vitamin K1 is a blood clotting vitamin. Vitamin K2 is a calcium vitamin. Now, there's different kinds of vitamin K2. You'll hear terms like MK4 and MK7. MK4 is synthetic. MK7, that's probably the best one to look for is MK7, vitamin K2, MK7. You'll see it on the label. It'll say MK4 or MK7. Look for K2 and MK7 if you're going to supplement. According to this article from the University of Dundee, vitamin K actually can help prevent heart attacks and strokes if you're dealing with kidney disease. And if you are dealing with kidney disease, understand that you can do a lot of things. Most especially keep the blood clean. The kidney filters the blood. Kidney disease is a classic sign of blood that is toxic and dirty, and sugar counts. Sugar counts as a major blood toxin. It's clumped, thick blood. That's what causes kidney disease. It's no wonder we have an epidemic, because we got an epidemic of dirty blood. And if there's only one disease, MBFA disease, my body is falling apart disease, it is always preceded by dirty blood. Thus the importance of digestive health, because that's how the blood becomes toxic in the first place. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Aldo in Texas, what's up? Welcome to the bright side, buddy. What's going on, Aldo? Aldo, do we have Aldo? Aldo?
Yes.
Yes, sir. What's going on? How can we help you? What's going on, man?
Hi, how are you today?
Doing good.
Well, I have been having a problem with my stomach for a long, long time.
Okay. Nice.
And now it's the worst. Like anything that I ate, it affects me. Anything.
Okay.
Almost anything. So.
Okay. Now you say the stomach, but you don't mean the stomach. You mean the intestine probably. It doesn't happen as soon as you eat. It happens later.
Exactly.
Okay, good. I want to get that clear because
even I get a ball in the middle on the stomach. I get a ball there. That
easy.
It hurt me when I touch. Mm-hmm.
Easy peasy. Easy. We'll handle that easy. You want me to? I'll tell you how to get rid of it right away. You ready? I want to tell you how to get rid of it right away, instantly. You ready? Get a pen. You writing this? I want you to write this. Here's how you do it.
Yeah.
Okay? Stop eating. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. No eat, no problem. Now, I'm teasing a little bit, because when you stop eating, you're not going to have a problem. That's a fact. But you do obviously have to eat again, right? Okay?
Yes.
So you stop eating for a couple of days. You just do a fast. Okay. You can call Longevity. You can call 866-735-2470. Tell them you want the Suero V. And that'll help you get through the fast. Suero V. S-U-E-R-O. Yeah. Turn the radio off, bro. Aldo, turn that off, the radio.
Oh, okay. I'm just talking on my phone. I don't have any radio.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I got a little echo there. Tell them you want the Suero V, and you're going to do half a bottle of Suero V every hour for 2 days that you're up. Now, if you don't want to do the Suero V, it's not the end of the world, but the Suero V make it easier for you. All right. Then when you start eating again, this is what's going to happen. You want to pick one food that you love the most, that you eat all the time, right? and you're going to eat.
Yes.
You're going to eat it all day, or eat as much of it as you want, and you're going to write down how you feel. Okay, I guarantee it's going to be a problem. If it's not, you're okay with that food, but almost 100% guarantee it's going to be a problem. Then you're going to eliminate that food, and you're going to keep doing that until you isolate the problem foods and you get rid of them. Now, and grain is going to probably be a problem. Flour, cereals, gluten, all that stuff is going to probably be a problem. It may be eggs, it may be dairy, cheese, I don't know. But that's a classic sign of a problem there. The next thing you're going to do, at the same time you should be doing this, is take care of the gut with probiotics first of all. Get the nightly essence, do 3 capsules 3 times a day. Start eating ground up fermented vegetables if you can. You know how to make sauerkraut or anything like that? Fermented vegetables, fermented pickles, or fermented beets or something like that? You know how to do that?
No, really.
Okay.
No.
So all you do, so just get sauerkraut. Don't even bother. Just get sauerkraut, but get good sauerkraut and eat it as you know what that is? Eat it as much as you can. Get it at a health food store. Good organic sauerkraut. Make vegetable juices. Make vegetable juices, and do lots of chicken soup with the bone. These are all soothing foods for the gut, for the intestine, because chances are pretty good you got some damage in there. All right.
Okay.
Last but not least, if you want, use aloe, noni, and the Z radical, which you get from Youngevity, or the Fucoid Z, which you get from Youngevity. If you don't do Youngevity, get the noni. Go get some noni juice and aloe juice, and that has a tremendously valuable soothing effect for the intestine. All right. I guarantee you, if you do everything I told you, you're going to be a new man in 30 days. Most especially the food elimination.
How about the tangerine? It's not recommended?
Tangerine's great. You need the Mighty 90 essential nutrients. I'm just focusing on the belly, on your intestine right now.
On the
Absolutely.
belly, okay.
Yeah. Okay?
So
There's many more things you could do. There's many more things you could do. You probably have other health issues, but that'll start you off. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, bro?
So.
Anything else, Aldo?
No. I'm
okay.
Good.
Good deal. Have a good day, man. Good to talk to you. Thank you, Aldo.
Thanks.
All right. Let's go to Texas. Brenda, what's going on?
Hello?
Hello, Brenda. Is it Brenda or Brenda?
Brenda.
Brenda, how you doing this morning, Brenda?
Oh, I'm great.
Good deal.
And I was going to talk about my husband's issue, and we are on the Youngevity products as of about 8.5 months, and been gluten-free.
Nice. How you feeling? How are you feeling?
Well, we're feeling better, much better.
Okay, hang on, Brenda. We got to take a commercial. Hang on. We'll get to you first up when we come back, okay? Don't go away. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back after this. Brenda in Texas. What is going on? Proceed. So you're on the Youngevity products for 8 months, and you're doing better.
And yes, we feel better, and we've been on, don't eat the 10 bad food list that Dr. Wallach has out and all. 12 now, but, the 10, 12, absolutely no fried foods, all that. And I have celiac, and so I've been, gluten-free for almost 2 years, but my husband's been gluten-free for a good year now or whatever, and like I say, we feel like we're eating really clean and healthy, for the most part. And and yet he had been on Nexium for several years for bad reflux. And so we started, once we got on the Youngevity products, trying to wean him off that and everything. And he was kind of taking one every 2 to 3 days or whatever, and still having reflux. And then even once Dr. Glidden said, well, increase the liquid calcium. And we did that for 2 or 3 months there, whatever. And
still having the reflux.
Yes. And so he kept trying to go longer without taking a Nexium.
I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you right away. I'm going to help you like I just helped the other guy, like Aldo, who just called. Okay? You got to link it to food. And the way you do it is by stopping eating. He's not going to have heartburn if he stops eating, okay? Unless he has a very, very serious case or, Barrett's esophagus, which can happen. Sometimes people get heartburn.
He does have Barrett's esophagus.
Okay.
He had scope almost a year ago, a year and a half ago, I guess, and he had, Barrett's
Does water do it? Will he get heartburn from just water? Or reflux from just water?
Well, I don't know. Just
okay.
water.
All right. Well, here's what you want to do.
Like if he takes the tangy tangerine, it's like that. Just really with that.
All right. That has to do with how his body's processing what he's putting in his mouth. Heartburn is a processing issue. It's processing of substances. Now, when it gets really bad, sometimes people can't even do water. Has he tried apples, by the way?
No.
Okay, that's
I
first
eat
thing.
an apple every day.
Well, have him do an apple. Apple can do miraculous things for heartburn. But if he's got a problem that's this progressive, that's been going on for this long, and he's by the way, Barrett's esophagus for the listeners is when basically the esophagus burns from all the acid, and it's a serious problem. So if he's got Barrett's esophagus, it's been going on for a while. He may need some serious measures here. So what you want to do is control what you can control, and that means the foods he's eating. See if he can link it to problem foods. All right, specific foods. Notice if sometimes grains, it's the same thing. What happens is when you have these reflux issues, there's pressure that builds up from the bottom. The bottom is where the intestine is, underneath the stomach. You know what I'm saying? And you get pressure building upwards, and that pressure is caused by how food is processed, usually at the intestinal level, and typically it will involve those good bacteria in there. So it has to do with the reaction between the foods he's eating and something in his digestive system. So by eliminating the foods, that should go away. The response should go away. It's a reaction. So what you want to do is you want to take care of the action that's causing the reaction. Foods, number one. So do a food diary and start to eliminate problem foods, okay? You follow me on this? Okay. The second thing he wants to do is start to restore the health of the intestine. Are you on the nightly essence?
Well, I have been.
We're talking him.
Yeah,
get him on it.
Taking some other probiotics.
Well, see if it makes a difference with the nightly essence. Have him do 9 a day. Okay, three times a day. So you can do elimination diet, eliminate problem foods, link problem foods to the heartburn, and then eliminate them, and then do the good bacteria, the nightly essence. Okay.
Okay.
Then you want to start to help restore the health of the environment that the bacteria are living in. And there's lots of ways to do that. One of the best ways is fiber. Have him grinding up flax seeds. Okay? Put it in water, or if he likes, he can put it in unsweetened almond milk and make himself a little pudding. That's what I do. You can drink that down or eat it like a pudding, either way. Have him do it once a day, maybe a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons. Any issues with his regularity, by the way? Is he constipated?
Maybe a little, but
okay.
Pretty good on that.
Okay, well, the fiber will keep him going. You don't even want a little constipation. The fiber will keep everything going, okay? And then vegetable juices. Do you have a Vitamix or a high-powered blender or NutriBullet, something like that? Okay, you have a Vitamix?
No, we don't have that one. We have another.
But you got a high-power one.
Okay.
The reason it's high-powered is you want the fiber. You don't want a regular juicer. You want something that will grind everything up real well. That's why, like the Vitamix, the NutriBullet does it too. Have him do cabbage. Actually, you know what? Have him do vegetable juices, but have him do cabbage soup. When you warm up the cabbage, you release some very interesting nutrients that can be helpful for the digestive system, for the intestine. Okay? So vegetable juices and cabbage, and also aloe and noni. Okay. You're going to be supporting, the strategy here is not to treat the heartburn or the reflux, it's to treat the intestine. You follow me? All the things you've been doing that you told me, the calcium and such, that's to treat the acid. You don't want to treat the acid, you want to treat the intestine.
Okay. And I've had him, I've been on the cherry berry from longevity, and that's helped me a lot.
Reflux? For your reflux?
Well, my intestine, with having celiac.
Okay, that might not be a bad idea either. I'm going to tell you a couple more things real quick, okay? Okay. Sometimes a deficiency in stomach acid can result in belching and GERD and reflux disease. It's heartburn that he has, I take it, right? Where he has a pain in his chest? Okay, so what he wants to do is he wants to help support the production of hydrochloric acid in the stomach. As we get older, we don't produce enough acid, so supporting the production of acid can be helpful. Iodine and zinc and the B vitamins. The B vitamins you'll get in your Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Have him doing that. He may want to go get himself something called iodoral, and you get that on the internet. Iodoral, and then make sure he's using zinc. It's incredibly important for everybody, but especially as we get older. 50 milligrams of zinc picolinate. Second word, Picolinate. Zinc picolinate. And this will help him make stomach acid. Also, starting off his meals with bitters, or something bitter can help. Arugula, dandelion greens, and such. You know what I'm talking about? Starting off the meal with something that stimulates his digestive juices. That might be helpful as well.
Okay, because we take the enzyme.
And also, well, the enzymes are great. Keep taking that. Also, apple cider vinegar, I should tell you, too. Sometimes that helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we heard you talking about that last week, and we were wondering, like a teaspoon and a half of water or what?
You don't really. A teaspoon's good. I don't dose. You don't need to worry about dosing. It's food, basically. It's incredible stuff, apple cider vinegar, for a lot of reasons. Number one, for the digestive thing, it activates the enzymes. It's amazing for helping acidify the contents of the digestive system of the stomach, but also it's a wonderful source of support of nutrients or substances that support the health of the intestine itself, specifically short-chain fatty acids. And that's why it works for diabetes, by the way, too. Apple cider vinegar is wonderful for helping stabilize the blood sugar. Everybody's wondering why apple cider vinegar could work, and I get letters. How does it work? Why is it so powerful? And people think it's some kind of old wives' tale. It's not an old wives' tale. Apple cider vinegar is a source of something called acetic acid. And acetic acid is a powerful precursor substance for the intestine and for the brain and for the blood and for the blood sugar. So plain old apple cider vinegar can go a long way.
And taking that, you're saying at the beginning of the meal?
With the meal, somewhere with the meal.
It. Okay.
Yeah.
Just kind of sip along.
You could do a swig of it. You could do a swig or a couple tablespoons full. Half an ounce to an ounce. A tablespoonful is half an ounce, so half an ounce to an ounce.
But mixed with some water. You
can mix it with water. You can mix it with oil. I do it straight. But mixing it with oil, you can make a nice little salad dressing, or you can mix it with just with water and drink it down. Either way.
Okay.
Okay.
And what was the noni something you said?
Noni, N-O-N-I. You can get it from Longevity. Call 866-735-2470. Ask them for the Noni product. N-O-N-I. Really fascinating stuff Noni is. All cactuses and what they call succulents, these are things that live in the desert that absorb water, are rich sources of really active medicines called polysaccharides, sugars, complex sugars, that nature has bequeathed them to hold on to water. Polysaccharides trap water. But they also, these polysaccharides, long chains of sugar, also have tremendous health benefits, especially for soothing the digestive tract. It's why the Fucoid Z is so helpful, and it's why Noni and aloe are both so helpful. All right, Brenda, that's the music. Time to go. I apologize. I hope I helped you out. Okay, good luck with everything. God bless you. And that's all the time we have for today on The Bright Side. Tomorrow we'll talk about one of the most underappreciated of all supplements, dietary supplements. It's a hormone-like substance, and I can't wait to tell you about it. Amazing, amazing, amazing for seizure disorders and for helping you sleep, for relaxation, for anti-aging. It can help people wean off of medication, off of drugs, off of marijuana. It's a really, really amazing substance. We'll talk about that tomorrow on The Bright Side. Thanks for listening, folks. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome day. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
Hello, I'm Michael Reagan. My father, President Ronald Reagan, believed so strongly in gold that he changed gold ownership forever by bringing back physical gold to the American public, allowing gold coins to be minted and sold to U.S. citizens just like you, starting in 1985. Gold ownership can help protect your financial future, especially when our national debt is spiraling out of control. Many smart Americans have kept their retirements from being wiped out during America's financial crisis thanks to physical gold coins. I strongly urge you to call the U.S. Money Reserve at 1-866-944-GOLD or go online to usmoneyreserve.com. Ask for a special gold guide with new, never-before-released information about gold from the U.S. Money Reserve. Call 1-866-944-GOLD or go online to usmoneyreserve.com. I'm Michael Reagan. Thank you.
There's a man named Dr. Joel Wallach who is anything but your typical doctor, both a veterinarian and naturopathic physician. Doc asks, why does the United States spend more money on healthcare by far and still rank 50th in health and longevity worldwide? He believes that people should empower themselves with a basic understanding of nutrition, take charge of their health, and attain optimal health and longevity through nutrition, not by toxic prescription drugs that lead to side effects and more toxic prescription drugs. drugs. Doc Wallach's message is resonating with an increasing number of Americans who are waking up to all the big government, big pharma, and big insurance manipulation of our healthcare system. I'm George Norrie, and I like what Doc Wallach is saying and doing to enlighten people about health care. Visit brightsideben.com and listen to Doc Wallach's Deadly Recipes lecture. It makes a lot of sense, and I urge you to join the Brightside Ben team. Go to brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
For health and vitality for you, your family, and friends, get the Healthy Start Pack from Longevity, as recommended by registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
If you're a junk food junkie, getting on the Healthy Start Pack is one of the best ways to wean yourself off of processed snack foods and start putting good nutrition in your body. If you have a loved one who's dealing with heart disease or any health challenge, the Healthy Start Pack makes a great gift. If you have a grandparent or a parent in a nursing home, you will be amazed at the difference a once-a-day dose of the Healthy Start Pack will make in your loved one's energy levels, in their memory, in their mood, and in their general outlook on life.
Give the gift of optimal health to your loved ones and order the Healthy Start Pack from Longevity by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470 or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size for incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency. Get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
Hello, I'm Michael Reagan. My father, President Ronald Reagan, believed so strongly in gold that in 1985, he changed gold ownership forever. Today, our national debt is spiraling out of control, but gold coins could be the answer. Call 1-866-525-GOLD or go online to usmoneyreserve.com to get new, never-before-released information about gold. From the U.S. Money Reserve, call 1-866-525-GOLD.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today. Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com. Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size for incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency. Get to goberkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. goberkey.com.
Hey guys, Pat Matthews here to tell you about the newest and best way to sell products online. It's buysellmakeoffer.com, an enormously revolutionary way to sell your stuff online. It's time to clean out the garage, your old golf clubs, sports equipment, tools, and yes, even your car. Forget about the way the other guys have taken more than their share from you when the sales were finalized. Look, it's happened to me over and over and over. Then I found buysellmakeoffer.com. They will never charge you item fees. Just go there right now to sign up and load all your stuff to our server to sell. This is not an auction site. Sell your car, sell your home. Realtor, sign up now. Just use our resources along with Skype and videos, then add your creativity to sell your items quickly and with no fees. Go right now to buysellmakeoffer.com and sign up. The excitement is building. I've signed up to sell my stuff with buysellmakeoffer.com. You should too. buysellmakeoffer.com.
Serious investors and traders want to make 81% return in 60 seconds? Use the same secret algorithm professional hedge fund managers use to make billions of dollars of profits. Turn $250 into $4,903 in just 7 clicks of a mouse. Our tool is so simple that my 82-year-old grandmother can use it to make insane stock market profits. Go to BigBuckRiches.com. Watch the free video before the hedge funds make us take it down. Go to BigBuckRiches.com. From the Robert Allen System, current returns not indicative of future results.
My computer is so slow, it's making me crazy.
I used to have that problem.
Did you quit using a computer or did you buy a new one?
No, I called Geeks On Site. They made an appointment to visit my home and showed up the same day.
You mean they didn't ask you to bring your computer to a shop? That's what happened when I called a support company.
Geeks On Site can go to your home or business or even repair your computer online. They have 24/7 emergency service.
If you're having problems with your PC or Mac, call Geeks On Site, 1-800-591-1682. Our friendly certified computer repair experts are available 24/7. Call now for a free diagnosis, 1-800-591-1682. Data recovery, virus removal, and maintenance for all laptops, desktops, printers, and networks. That's Geeks On Site for friendly certified computer repair experts, available 24/7 over the phone or in your home or business. Just call 1-800-591-1682. That's 1-800-591-1682, 1-800-591-1682.
You've asked for it, now he's coming. The amazing pharmacist Ben Fuchs, live in Minneapolis, May 5th. Seating is limited and tickets are free. Call Rose at 763-291-5052. Reserve yours today. Again, pharmacist Ben Fuchs, live in Minneapolis, 763-291-5052. If you haven't heard Ben Fuchs on Alex Jones, George Norrie, Joyce Riley, and so many others, stop by thebrightside.com. Ben Fuchs, live, 763-291-5052.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to goberkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. goberkey.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite, a 7-herb combination made from garlic, cayenne, bilberry, hawthorn, ginkgo biloba, valerian, and milk thistle. Each herb was chosen for their abilities to help improve irregular heartbeats, chest pain, lower cholesterol, as well as normalize blood pressure and clean and strengthen arteries, plus much, much more. Doctors have taken people off of some or all of their pills just because they believe their patients got better while taking Extendovite. Get the dependability of Extendovite. Just see how you feel in 6 months. A 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid is only $69.95 plus shipping and handling. Call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX or my website, danpilla.com.
Serious investors and traders want to make 81% return in 60 seconds? Use the same secret algorithm professional hedge fund managers use to make billions of dollars of profits. Turn $250 into $4,903 in just 7 clicks of a mouse. Our tool is so simple that my 82-year-old grandmother can use it to make insane stock market profits. Go to BigBuckRiches.com. Watch the free video before the hedge funds make us take it down. Go to BigBuckRiches.com. From the Robert Allen System, current returns not indicative of future results.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, libertyoncall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to libertyoncall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's libertyoncall.org.